Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And if things seem a little off, sound a little off, well, it's a series of unfortunate events. Number one, I have a little bit of a cold. Also, yesterday had Thanksgiving Day, at least here in the United States. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, for those who celebrate, by the way. I actually pulled a muscle in my back trying to brush my hair. That was hysterical, but I'm actually feeling a lot better from that. And the cold's coming along. But earlier in the week, basically like Tuesday or Wednesday, my phone spontaneously died, and that's what I usually use to record these. Now I'm using my tablet. The tablet is HD camera and all that. It's just has to be positioned differently because of the size. I have to use a different stand and what have you. So hopefully it's not that bad or noticeable. As I mentioned last time, I finally have started a Patreon, www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask is $1 a month to help support this channel. There will be a link in the description and a little info card at the end. But today we're taking a look at, from Transformers Siege, the final new deluxe. I'm trying to get emotional. This is Spinister, and Spinister is here in all of its late 80s, late G1 glory. Yes, there's lots of colors going on here. You have a light lavender, a dark purple, and then some turquoise, along with some gray to break up the monotony. There's a lot that I like about Spinister, the mold, and there's a lot I don't like. We'll talk about that as we get into the transformation, which we're going to do right now. Okay, so we're going to start in helicopter mode because the instructions do a pretty good job of getting you into helicopter mode from robot mode. So we're going to go that route. I will point out a few things along the way, and the first thing I really want to point out is this back section right here. Now, technically, that is supposed to peg into that under cockpit, which is actually the other leg, and it really just sits there. Now, I don't know if this was a design flaw, maybe a little too much paint on those pegs, but it just doesn't peg in as well as I feel it should. Or maybe that's as good as it's supposed to get. I don't know. But one thing I do also want to point out is this helicopter mode really reminds me of some of the helicopters from the 80s, like Airwolf, and from the video games, Tiger Heli, stuff like that. That's just like really offensive, shoot 'em up helicopter games instead of a jet. But whatever, rambling on. Starts transformation. You want to come in, and you're going to unpeg the arms from the side. There's a tab that goes into what would be the torso in robot mode there, and a slot where there's a peg right where my finger is on the back of the feet. So that will free everything up. And to be honest, this part right here helps secure everything. So even if that back section's not pegged in well. Next, what you want to do is loosen up these pegs here. This one will fold back, this will fold forward, and go ahead and fold up the landing gear, open that panel, fold out the leg, bring it down, and just like so. Let me adjust the camera a little here. Just like so. You can close that panel, bring that foot down, and now on this foot, it does peg into what would be the heel, so you want to pop it forward and bring it down so that that foot is facing towards the front of the canopy. Next, what you want to do is come up back to the top of the helicopter, pull up on this section here. That will free up the back, and then just come in from the top, pull that section up. Don't peg anything together yet, and that will free up the second leg. And on that second leg, you want to just come in, and you're going to do the same thing that you did on the front cockpit. Open up that panel, bring it down, right so. Close that panel. Now this one, the foot doesn't peg in, but just rotate it around so it's facing forward, and it does peg in, excuse me. Now, just a little clarification here. This is the front of the hips. These are the back. The back is where that big screw is. So make sure you have to rotate the legs so that they're facing forward. And we got the robot standing. No, I mean, we're going to fix it up a little, but just show you. Now, coming back to the top here, what you want to do is, it's a double thing. You're going to fold this back section in, fold it up just like that, collapse it down and in. This will form the chest of the robot mode. Push it, you want to push it through so that chest comes up. And then here on the back, there's that back section will just fold up into place. At this point, I would suggest folding up the rotors. Now, they kind of stay in place and they kind of don't. Your mileage may vary. Mine, they kind of stay if you don't play with it too much. Rotate the hips forward, just like so. And now you've got like a Spinister looking like he's doing a little bit of the old Cub Scout chicken cheer. Let me see what I can do here about bringing this up. Oh, there we go. And then finally, bring the arms down to the side, unpeg them from the shoulders, and there you have Spinister in its robot mode. In terms of the rotor blades, like I said, if you actually push them in a little, that's not really shown in the instructions, but they kind of hold a little better in place that way. Maybe, yeah. But you do have a little more battle damage here on the thighs. The double cockpit, fake cockpit trick is a nice little homage to the original toy, where both legs were the cockpit. I mean, they didn't have articulation. It just flipped out and separated, but it's a nice little touch there. Now, the two guns, one is a Gatling gun, one is just a straight laser blaster. Much like the original double Target Master toy, they can peg together like so. That's kind of nice. So you can just pop that in the hand right there. Let's take a look at the head. Yeah, I hope this isn't coming off as dark as it looks for me, because I'd really hate that. But you are getting a look at the colors and stuff. I mean, this is a late 80s, early 90s toy, so it's going to have these really weird, garish colors. Articulation is very nice, and I think overall it's a fun figure. So, we'll pause, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Like I said in the beginning, there's a lot I like about Spinister, and there's some I don't. Sometimes going from robot to helicopter mode, the transformation can be a little finicky, having to remember how to rotate the legs and getting everything pegged together. But once everything gets pegged together, it's a solid fit and holds together well. I think with time and maybe with play, things will peg together and work better. But, we'll have to see about that. I got this figure off of eBay, but as of this recording, Black Friday, November 29th, 2019, you can pre-order it on Amazon for a sale price of $15.99. So for a figure like this, which is the last deluxe of the entire Siege line, I think that's a steal. Is Spinister the best deluxe of Siege? No. And I'd really have to think about which one I would say is the best. But this really has some cool stuff going for it, and I feel it's definitely worth a pickup to add to your collection. This is your old pal Chuck for Spinister. We will see you next time.